So now I want to do some more complicated sentences in predicate or quantificational logic using dyadic predicates and using multiple quantifiers. So let's just try this. Let's say every giraffe is taller than Anne. Every giraffe is taller than Anne. So we want to say for any x, if x is a giraffe, then x is taller than Anne. So we're letting t stand for a dyadic predicate, is taller than. So this says x is taller than a. A is a singular term standing for Anne. X is bound by this variable. Gx says x is a giraffe. So we're saying for any x, if x is a giraffe, then x is taller than Anne. How's that? And now let's say Anne is taller than any giraffe. So we're going to...
woman.
She's tall. Must be very tall. How would we say it? For any x?
For all x. Okay. So we're going to have gx.
Okay, if x is a giraffe.
Then capital T. In this case, we're going to switch these around. AX. So we have, because the order makes a difference. This is x is taller than Anne. This would be Anne is taller than x.
Very good.
The x is going to be the giraffe.
That's all we need to do. So for any x, if x is a giraffe, then Anne is taller than x. Where capital T stands now for a dyadic predicate, a two-place predicate. So G is a monadic predicate, isn't it? It's a predicate that applies to just one thing. Is a giraffe, applies to one thing at a time. T is taller than, which T stands for, is a dyadic predicate because when we say is taller than, we've got two subjects that are being related by that predicate.
Like the predicate loves or likes.
Loves is dyadic. Let's do some loves.
Bob loves Anne.
Okay. So if I want to say Bob loves Anne, I let small b stand for the proper name Bob. I let small a stand for the proper name Anne. And capital L stand for the dyadic predicate loves.
Again, the order makes a big difference.
Bob loves Anne.
Because that may be true, and this may be false. Anne may have court orders against Bob, can't stand the side of him, but this may be true.
So this says what?
Thing.
This says what?
Bob loves Anne.
What's this say?
Anne loves Bob. How about Bob loves Bob?
So let's say
fellow here.
Bob's a narcissist. So we'll say Bob loves Bob.
Okay, we can do that.
And in fact, let's say everybody loves themselves.
Okay.
So
for all things, so it can be universal.
Let's let the domain be people.
Okay.
So now we're restricting the domain to just people. So now our variables range only over people, nothing else. Whereas up here our domain is the universe. Our variables range over the whole universe. But if the domain is people, and we say everyone loves themselves.
Universal.
For every x.
Capital L for loves.
Something's loving something.
So just like Bob loves Bob, we'd have x loves x.
Very good. For any x, x loves x. In other words, everything loves itself. Well, every people loves itself. Okay. Good. Let's do, that leads to something. Let's do this. Everybody loves everybody. Letting the domain be people.
Okay.
So we're only talking about people. So everybody loves everybody.
Universal again.
Yeah.
So if I have a universal quantifier, that'll be the everybody.
Can I suggest a pedagogical thing here? There's two ways to teach this. I'm going to suggest that we do it this way. To say that everybody loves everybody is to say that X loves Y, and then who's X? Everybody, and who's Y? Everybody. So this quantifier binds this variable, and this quantifier binds this variable. So you can read it this way. This part says X loves Y. Who's X?
Everybody we're referring to.
And who's Y?
People being loved.
Yeah, that's one way to think about it. Now, how were you going to say it?
Pretty much the same way. Just kind of, I was going to start off here.
You were going to start
I
here.
knew it was universal.
Yeah.
Because you said everybody, so I would start off in my mind with the universal quantifier. So after that, everybody loves, so I know I use a capital L. That's a dyadic predicate, so I knew I'd have a couple things to, somebody's loving somebody. So everybody is loving everybody. So I need two quantifiers there.
Yeah.
First, everybody's referring to all the people we're talking about, and then everybody in the room is loving everybody, including himself, apparently.
Yeah.
So, got two
Okay.
relations.
And so if I said somebody loves somebody, how would I do that?
It's a particular statement, so EX, backward existential X. And there's the somebody we're talking about. Now there's somebody else they're loving, EY or EZ. And then L, capital L, XY.
Good. So we're saying X loves Y. Who's X?
Person we're
Someone.
talking about.
Yeah, someone. Who's Y?
Someone or other.
Yeah, so someone loves someone. And I like the way you said, when I said who's X, you said the person we're talking about. Because the first quantifier is the subject of the sentence. We're talking about somebody. And then we're saying something about them. They love somebody. So this is the subject, somebody. And so they're loving somebody. Here, the subject is everybody. And what are they doing? They're loving everybody. So you have to read these and think about them. Now let's try to say, well, let's say with Dean Martin, everybody loves somebody. Remember the song?
Everybody loves somebody.
Sometime.
Sometime.
Yeah. Everybody loves somebody. How do we want to say that?
Well, we're starting off with a universal because we're talking about everybody. So let's have a universal quantifier.
Okay, everybody.
Okay. Now we're talking about somebody, which is the existential. So let's have an existential quantifier.
Oops,
Yeah.
Y.
We want to have
Because it might be a different person.
Could
So
be a Y or a Z, which is some other quantifier other than X. So everybody, somebody. So capital L for the loves. Now it's everybody loving somebody, an act of love here. So we're going to have XY. Everybody, universal X. Somebody, existential Y. So everybody loves somebody.
yeah. So I like to think of it this way. We're talking about everybody. That's because the first quantifier is saying everybody. And then I like to go here and say, well, X loves Y. Who's X? Everybody. Who's Y? Somebody. So everyone's loving somebody. All right. Now how do we say somebody loves everybody?
The Mother Teresa of all people. This is an altruistic.
Or Gandhi.
Or Gandhi, all kinds of good people.
Jesus.
Okay, somebody is going to be an existential claim. That's where it's more people.
Somebody.
And love, so I'll try to do it your way. Capital L.
Okay.
So somebody's going to love somebody. So let's have an X there.
Okay.
Somebody loves everybody. Let's make that a Y.
Okay.
And since we're talking about everybody, that needs to be a universal Y there.
Because this quantifier binds the Y.
Right. Universal quantifier.
Oh, sure. I lost track of my thought there. Yeah, it's a universal quantifier. So, okay, so X loves Y. Who's X?
Somebody.
Somebody. Who are they loving? Who's the Y they're loving?
Everybody.
Everybody. So there's some interesting symbolizing with multiple quantifiers and with dyadic operators. So good luck symbolizing.